Hey, Ran,
Yes.
finally finished the whole download. Just needed to like 26 to put that paint on. So how do I find the cut?
No, you should be. Well, the guys are practicing the session's actually up. I'm aware of that, but I'm just letting you know that the practice session.
Oh, no worries. Okay, well, I'll sort it out. Okay.
please. We can't hear you anyway.
Right, everyone, so it's 2 minutes till the mandatory driver's brief, so get your lap finished and then hit the pits and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, copy that, boys. Copy that.
Alright guys, we're about to start, so if you haven't finished your lap, just pull it up, pull it in, and let's get it underway. So we're just going to do this because we do it with the National Series, so we're just going to do everything exactly the same. That way it gets you guys used to it, plus it's a good little refresher to have before you hit qualifying and head into the race, because we don't have much time obviously when we do a form-up. So run through a few technical things for the session, and then we'll also just sort of refresh on some basics. So firstly, qualifying, guys that are still on track, please. Everyone's going to be out all together. You've got 10 minutes, but you've only got 4 laps. So don't go and do 5, 6 laps, because potentially you can be disqualified through iRacing. So do your 4 and then pull off. Obviously try and stay out of people's way. So everyone has the right to be qualifying. Doesn't matter whether you're faster or slower, but if you're on a slow lap, if you're on an out lap, or you've already egged your lap, please don't ruin it for the guys behind you. So do your best to stay out the way, and as soon as you finish, get off, get out the way. Don't all rush out on the first lap either. Wait a few minutes, stagger yourselves, get some track room, because you'll be finished in 5 minutes and you got 10. So keep that in mind. You should have all read the regs around pit stops. If you haven't, let us know after this brief so that we can fill you in, but you should already know, otherwise you risk getting a DQ if you don't follow the rules. Black flags, 20 incidents, you'll get a drive-through penalty, 25 and you're disqualified. Obviously keep your Discord on at all times so that you can hear if anyone speaks. Crew chief, if you do run it, otherwise having your spotter on at all times. You all should have your relative box up, so your F3 button, so that you rejoin safely. And when you're exiting the pits, etc., you know who's coming. Just try and avoid those incidents. Blue flags, I don't know if you guys have gone through this before, but the rule that we have is obviously when safe to do so, move over on the straights. Otherwise, throughout the track, maintain your line and be pretty cool. So don't go getting off the throttle and getting out the way. Just keep on your line. It's up to the passing car to do it safely. So the only time it's really a problem is if a car that's got blue flags is coming down straight and they're not blending out of the throttle and pulling over and letting guys through. That's when you should be doing it. So don't be stressing out in the tight stuff. Keep doing what you're doing. If the faster car can make a move, make it clean and easy, then that's great. Otherwise, they're going to have to hold on. Now, pit exit here, right? So no braking in the out lane. So as soon as you guys hit the end of pit lane, you should be off limiter and flat. And then you'll come off the throttle a bit to turn onto the track at the very end, but no braking. Don't slow it up because someone's coming. So the guys coming down, if someone's exiting the pits, you have to give that right-hand side of the track room, right? So it's going to be your problem. If you run wide and you take them out, that's on you. So if someone's coming out the pits, give them the right-hand side of the track. If you're coming out the pits, stay to the right-hand side of the track, but come out hard. You're straight onto racing line, and effectively the pit lane exit is racing line, and it's a live track, so you shouldn't be on the brakes at all. Pit entry, if you haven't already done a pit entry, do a practice, do it at the end of qualifying, whatever. Just understand how you got to come in, where you got to brake. Don't get yourself a penalty from overshooting the cones. The roll around is going to be 2x2, no excessive weaving or braking. It's a really short roll around here. The start speed is 80 k's an hour, so the front guys maybe just hold back a little bit from the pace car, and then as the pace car starts to pull away, get yourself up to 80 k's an hour, and then everyone should be nice and tucked in formation 2x2 without weaving or braking or anything like that. So that go the green light, everyone goes on the green light. That's it. The first place doesn't make the call, it's green light only. Obviously, just first and second corner, guys, it's ruined heaps of guys' races last night and the last time we did it and the practice race that we did. So, you know, guys went top 10 that were multiple seconds slower than guys behind them, and that's all because of incidents at the start. So if you want to finish well, you know, just take it easy on the first couple of corners, get settled, and then get into rhythm and go from there. There's no drop rounds, so if you have a big incident, it's going to hurt your championship. And obviously for you guys, you're aiming to the course of the season. Qualifying at all in the race, only if there's an incident or circumstance, substantial circumstance. So if you spin out in a corner, you can say, get on your chat and say, hey guys, I've spun on turn 2, I'm on the exit of turn 2. That just gives everyone a heads up. It's purely about just trying not to create bigger incidents if there's a way we can prevent it. But you shouldn't be on the chat saying, oh man, why'd you pull in, why'd you do this? You can have those conversations after. We're happy to talk about it after. Just don't do it during the race because there's other people on track and they're trying to concentrate as well. Podium finishes. So for both races, I think the first race you'll get cut off, but the process is you do a full cool down lap and then pull up on the start finish line, because that's when, if it's nationals, you would have your interviews and things like that. So good to start practicing that. So first, second, and third, full cool down lap and pull up on the start finish line. And then if you crash your car, do your best to get back to the pits, limp at home on the side of the track if you have to. Anything under 30 k's an hour is becoming a bit ridiculous, and you can go back, but you shouldn't be exiting your car straight away, because when it's broadcast, it ends up jumping you to the front of the queue and it stuffs up the timing. So do your best to drive the thing back. You get towed at like 30 k's an hour, so you're better off trying to drive. Quali's up now, guys. Obviously, you're all on track. Give each other space. Try and find a good spot. Have a good run. Good luck tonight, and I'll be having a watch and hope you do well.
Thanks, Miles.
Yeah, thanks, Miles. Awesome.
I love you, Miles.
Love you too, Ran.
Well, you too, Ran. Yep.
But I actually snuck in a couple of laps.
Go, go, go!
All right, guys, that's everyone finished. So, well done. Good work, Aaron. And Anthony, you were bloody close. That was nice and close up the front there.
Ticket flag,
So
ticket flag.
just remember now to change your setups. If you had a qualifying specific setup, now's the time to change it back or put fuel back in it. So if you took fuel out, make sure you put it back in now before you hit grid up. Otherwise, you will run out of fuel. Also good.
Maybe remind who has to pit, Miles.
Yeah, so all your GT1 and GTE. So GT1 is the Astons and the Vets, and GTE is the BMW M8. So you guys have a mandatory stop, which is just a drive-through. So as per the rules, you'll just come in, hit your limiter, and then just stay in the fast lane the whole way down pit lane. Don't pull into your box because you'll hemorrhage time doing that. And then get to the end, get off your limiter, and boot your way out onto the track nice and quick. So remember, short roll around. So Aaron and Anthony, just give the pace car a little bit of room. You can let it take off, give it sort of 50, 100 metres, and then start cruising up and then get to 80. You guys all have speedos and they're all the same, which is nice. So, you know, when you're on the money, and then stay nice and lined up, and then on 80 you go. So just remember, no drop round. So, you know, don't be the guy that causes the incident in turn 1 and 2. Just, you'll feel a lot better if you lost a position but you're still on track coming out of the second corner than if you're the guy that caused the accident. So just, you know, I'm not telling you not to race, but the more that you guys just sort of tuck in and do the right thing on the first couple of corners, the better that, you know, this race and the next one's going to be for you. So yeah, just try not to be that guy. Don't go in there too hot. Everyone's on cold tyres. Just take it easy and good luck with the race.
Hi mate, how do I check what fuel I've got?
Well, with 16 seconds to go, don't just get on the grid because you won't make it back in time and then you start from pit lane. So just hit the grid button and hopefully you're full to the maximum capacity, which will get you home. If you haven't changed it, it should be fine.
Cheers. about that?
All right, guys, how was that?
Yeah, good.
Too
Good
fast,
fun.
too fast in a straight line.
Sorry, I think I missed that bit about the first corner.
It was hard to see all the accidents. I couldn't really catch them all. Miles was trying to see him. He's gone now, but yeah, did everyone do their pit stops and everything? It's hard to sort of keep track of this. But yeah, how did everyone feel? Were blue flags being obeyed and everything?
Yeah, probably not as much as they should be, Ran, but just time out.
Not too
I
bad.
think, yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, there's a few people here that are brand spanking new, so we'll get them up to speed a little bit quicker. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I didn't know this is a side thing, but Jordan and Chris, you guys both don't seem to have sponsors on the cars.
No, I better fix that for the next round. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry.
So, and Jordan's got some, but they're really hard to see, and there's no. I couldn't see the DEA above the window banner. I know you can't put it on. No, you can on. What car are you in? You're in the AMG, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah, you can run it on the banner in the AMG.
Okay, yeah, we'll get that fixed up.
So basically, originally we were going to just not give people points, but I kind of decided that was a bit too harsh. So that's sort of, I'm just letting you know. Like, it's not a big deal, but everyone needs to just have the right livery, which is a good thing. So yeah, everyone just remember that first lap especially, there was a bit going on there. Just take it easy, especially if you're sort of there seems to be sort of two groups. There's a really quick group, which all sort of seemed to be pretty good. The rest of the guys, there was a little bit of action. So just watch that. If someone is a lot faster than you, and this is maybe your first or second time on iRacing, just let them go. You will get up to speed and you'll be able to fight those guys later on, but tonight's probably not the night to try and do that. Just try and do clean laps and get used to the dynamics of iRacing. But yeah, if there's anyone that's... Andrew, did you see anything that you wanted to bring up?
No, not really. I was just watching everyone win, so the start was pretty good. I thought. Bit of a
Tell them that. They'll get chaotic for the next one.
Just a quick question. Where do you see the blue flags if there are any? Because I'm sure I would have got them, but I don't know. I didn't see the blue.
left hand top corner of the screen. Blue with the yellow spot.
Yeah, and we'll also get you crew chief working as well for future ones, which will help a lot, Francois. You've been thrown right into the fire. That's very different, yeah. It becomes more similar as you get used to it, but yeah, to start with, it's pretty chaotic. Yeah, maybe we'll show him that later. It's a bit, he's trying to catch up. But do you have your relative box up, Francois?
Not too many relatives on my Middle East.
You know what? We'll just get through today, and we'll over the practices that are coming up over the next few days before the next round, we'll just get you up speed on just a few other bits and pieces that will help make the experience a lot better for you.
I appreciate that. It was only like a minute before quali that I finished the car, so it all right.
So just go out there and circulate. You'll get up to speed over the course of the series.
No problem. Thanks for letting me join.
For those that don't know, Francois races in the Big State Series in an X supercar, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The Dodo one. So he did quite well in the State Series. I think didn't you? Were you in the top 3 in the finish? I think
I finished second in my first year.
So look, you'll come to grips with it, mate. It's a different type of beast, I suppose. But yeah, just have fun tonight.
That's what it's about.
The black guys weren't holding their line. I had a cut across to try and get off line.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
I've just had a few people on black cars. They're not holding their line. They slow up and cut across off the race line and cut you off.
The quicker car is doing that, or the slower car?
Slower car, black car.
So basically, the idea with lapping people and stuff like that is you rate, like if you're getting lapped, race your line. You don't have to jump out of the way, but don't block them either. Let them, once they get next to you, let them go. Don't fight it if they're lapping you. Is that what you mean?
When they're actually, like if they're coming out of the corner, they're on the racing line, and all of a sudden there's a car behind you, and they jump across to the slow side, and they pretty much just cut you off.
So basically, we want people to hold their line like their normal race, so it's predictable.
Absolutely. Just keep to their racing line and just be aware if there's someone behind them. And, just stay there pretty much and press on. But the quicker guys will go around.
On my screen it says warm up. Does that mean I can get out there and muck around or what?
Yes. Yes. Get out there.
Holy crap.
Just for future reference, Ran, was I up the inside enough going up the bridge making that pass or not?
When?
Check.
You see the rest of my livery. It's just that I just haven't put the stickers on yet, which I will definitely do straight away. But
I can see that you've got a livery, but yeah, it looks like it's the iRacing livery.
okay, it should be custom livery. I don't know what's happened there.
Let me have a look, I'll see.
Thanks.
Your car's got like it's like the deep red, the mint, and the white.
Yeah, that's it. That's my livery. So I'll just make sure I've got the signage on. Definitely for next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see through. Like, there is some stuff with trading paints that's playing up for some people. So I'm just trying to keep on top of it. Most people are displaying okay. It looks.
Yep.
So I've been sent a message about one of the other cars saying that it has got the right livery, but I think they're talking about different cars. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's why we're working this stuff out. It's not live stream. Like I've got it up playing on the Machine Cult page, but it's not a proper live stream. So anyway, we're racing now, guys. Make sure you got enough fuel. Remember everything Miles said, because I don't remember it all. But race clean. Remember it. It's a long race. Trust me. You can, if you're at the back, just let people take themselves out, and you will pick through the field. All right. So good luck, guys.
Yeah. Good luck, all.
How many laps is this one?
1 lap to green.
25 laps.
Is that 25?
5 laps. The last one was 15 laps.
Should be alright as long as I don't get taken out at the start.
About to go green.
Well done, Geordie.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
good.
thank you.
Gordy.
Nice driving up the front there. Yeah, well done.
Hey, great job, Jacob and Anthony. That was a rip of dice. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good driving.
It was a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, well done.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, it was good to watch the dicing up the front, that's for sure. There was some awesome battles going on. Yeah. How did everyone find that one? 25 laps.
The
I
workout.
managed
It was a
the tyres
workout.
toward the end there, but that was alright though.
We had better races, but oh well, better luck next time.
Some of you faster guys passing with the blue flag. I held my line. Ended up getting disqualified and getting hit from you guys that many times.
Who was getting hit?
What's wrong with that?
Me. I was.
Who's
I
me?
was going. Oh, I'm Tim.
So I just can't see who. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
got
got,
out a couple of times.
yeah, I got taken out probably 4 or 5 times, just when past cars were lapping me.
I think it is a bit of a tricky circuit, being a bit tight and narrow in places.
Oh, yeah, this track's one of the hard. This track and the next track we go to are probably the 2 most difficult ones for passing and racing clean. So the fast guys, I'm assuming you mean like the top 3 or 4 guys?
Look, I don't know who did it, but going up the hill over the bridge sort of area, I got taken out twice at least on the apex. People trying to come up on my inside while I'm holding the line. You know, inside's where my line was.
I'd need to have a look and see what you mean. Obviously, I didn't see it, but it's hard to see everything on the track at once.
Yeah.
Anyone? Yep. Go.
No, I was watching. It was a lapped car, and Tim's right. I watched him for a while, Mr. Tim. And then when Tim came back on, and he was behind the leaders. He was faster than the leaders and just sat there and did a really good job. And it's a shame he got disqualified. Not his fault.
Okay. Well, if we need to talk to anyone afterwards or whatever, just to try and improve things, we can do that. That's what we're trying to do.
Hey guys, I'm happy to take any constructive criticism. If it was me, let me know.
Francois, you were just trying to stay on track from what I could tell, so I think you'll do a lot better with some practice. It was probably it was a big ask to try and just race straight away.
No worries. I've got to learn how to set this car up as well.
This is one of the hardest tracks too.
Race 2 was really good. First one was a bit ordinary.
Is it possible, Ren, if we make a suggestion, if there's an obviously faster car behind you for multiple laps, to just let them go?
I agree with that.
Well, it just depends.
There's a massive disparity in obviously in ability.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to be stuck behind a car for 3 laps, clearly faster, and not be able to get past.
Isn't that motor racing though?
Yeah, look, it depends. Is the person blocking you every corner, or are they just quicker in certain bits so you can't get them? Or I don't know. Last night, it's a hard one. You got to balance it up. If there's a quick guy behind you and you're racing for position, as long as you're not blocking them and everything like that, I think that's racing to a degree, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
I think if you're racing for position, it's a bit different. But there was a few guys there where I was behind for lap after lap, and because I was the car that was a lap behind, I didn't want to make any risky moves or anything. So you sort of got to cautiously sit there.
think it's a tricky one because there are always going to be cars that are different, able to do different lap times just because they're different cars, and some of us have got to do pit stops and some don't. So they are always going to be different. But yeah, it's a tricky one. I noticed it too.
It's one thing.
Oh, I felt bad that I was holding you up, Anthony. But you got a race, yeah.
No, it's good fun. I enjoyed it.
I noticed your pit stop, mate. You need to learn. There's a clear rule that you can set up and key macros, because I think you must have taken on tyres in that pit stop. You were there for a long time.
Was that me?
Yeah, I came in the pits after you. I only took 5 litres on, and I was out way before you.
No, I came off the track a little bit and then cut it, and then all of a sudden it said 40-second penalty. I'm like, I haven't done that much iRacing, but I've never seen that. I don't know what happened. I must have cut the track more. I'm not sure. And that was just after I'd done my pit stop, so I had to go back in, and then I was done from there.
Okay, you could have possibly got too many incident points as well. If you get 20, I think is Oran that you get a
black flag. Yeah, you get a drive through if you get 20.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't that. It was pretty early in the race. It was from cutting turn 1. I lost it going in there, and then it sort of started going across the track, and then I rejoined as early on the track as I could. But it said I cut the track.
Can we watch a replay of this anywhere, or where is it posted?
You can save it. When you go to close this, you can save the replay. So I've got it set up so that it does that. I'd put a bodgy live stream up, but I probably nearly shouldn't do it because it means I'm trying to do something there and also watch you guys, and I can't really talk because it goes on the broadcast and stuff. So it's probably not worth streaming this as such at this stage.
I think I heard you mention something during the broadcast though.
What did I mention?
Was it you who yelled out blue flags? Or?
Nah, that wasn't me. Someone was yelling it out. I don't know. I couldn't see whose names were yelling what out, but there wasn't too much. But look, blue flags obviously need to be obeyed. This is the worst track for it, as in this is the one where it'll highlight all the problems with people holding people up, people being impatient, all that stuff. This is the track that will do it. And I suppose, we didn't sort of think when we were going to do the stake thing that, Oran Park will be the first track. We just thought, Nationals, we've run it now. We've got our head around it. It's going to be a great one to start with. It's probably not an ideal one to start with, maybe, with a new group of guys running together. And it did take us probably the whole of last season. Even though there's some people are saying the first race yesterday, the first round yesterday was a bit messy, it was actually a lot better than what it was the previous season and stuff. So it does take a little while to get used to who you're racing against. And I know that people get upset and stuff, but I want to encourage people trying to help other people, because quite often it's just a mistake, or they don't realise it's not necessarily they're a dick or an idiot. You know what I mean? That'll come out if someone's just constantly punting people and doing stupid shit. We'll start to notice it. Everyone will start to notice it. We don't need to fire up about it. We just try at this stage try and help each other, and you'd be surprised how many people will be receptive to encouragement and help. And if it comes to it that we need to give a warning or something like that because they won't listen, then it'll come to that. But let's try and get everyone racing clean as much we can.
It was a good race.
Know how many people actually have a CAMS racing license as opposed to a level 2 speed and have done the mandatory training on flags and things like that. Not a dig at anyone, just it'd be interesting to gauge how many people have had that license.
I look for sure, but I know some people that are very, very experienced racers and do very well on the real track. But we've found in iRacing it doesn't always translate. So that's something just to be aware of. Some people are really experienced race drivers. No one in this group I'm talking about, but they on iRacing for some reason, or on sim racing, they just forget everything they know in real life. So I think Yeah, look, I'm starting to put up who's a driver, like on the lists. I'm starting to put who's a sports. I'm talking sports sedans because obviously that's what we're encouraging. I know that there's some people in the series that are from other classes, so we might start putting that up so you get to know. And as you get to know other people more, you're more likely, I think, to race better, hopefully against them.
They can hear me, but everyone else can hear me on there.
Can I just butt in for a second?
Yeah.
It makes a good point, as in, like, I don't have a CAMS license, so I wouldn't know what a correct move was to overtake somebody, if that makes sense.
Sometimes I'm only talking quietly anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the good thing about this group. We'll show people and encourage people. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Look, and that's what it's about. Like, obviously, if you guys don't know, Chris Donnelly is a sports sedan driver and has a crazy sports sedan that they've just built, and he's been involved in sports sedans for a long time. So there's guys like himself that are, Chris drives pretty clean. From what I was watching, he's a clean, fast driver. So there's guys like that are more than happy to talk to you about stuff if you've got a question about what's the right way to do this, and everyone, for the most part, it will help each other.
I think you're right, though. This is probably one of the worst tracks as far as passing is concerned, and that makes it even harder for all of us beginners in iRacing as well as beginners in actual racing.
Hey guys, can you hear me on the microphone?
Can now.
Sorry, I had to shut down my computer to get it work, but I apologise. I got tangled with a couple of cars, but I think there's also a huge learning curve for like people like myself as the fuel loads of things drop off in the car.
Look, the whole point of, I suppose, this was also that you're just not sitting there on a waiting list, not learning anything and not having fun. So I was like, well, why don't we do a state version for the guys that are on the waiting list, so to speak, and they don't have to be on a waiting list, they can race. And obviously, as people drop out of nationals, we've got a pool of guys that we go, well, you're really fast, you're winning everything, or, can you do Tuesday nights? Cool, you can come up. And that's sort of what we want to do and this is a good spot because trust me, it was even more chaotic when there's 35, 40 cars on the track last night compared to tonight. So this is a good way of getting up to pace. And some of you guys are already at, there's a top sort of 4 or 5 guys who are super quick that probably would have been in the fight in the nationals anyway.
I actually thought last night was the undercard and this was the main event.
It is.
Oh, here we go. It's an us and them thing already. This is hilarious.
Everyone ended up on their roof in the start line, so that's a good thing.
Looking
Island race.
No, that's good. You guys look. The point is to have a group of dudes that you like racing with, and you're like, yeah, we're the fucking ones you want to watch race. That's good because it means that the racing will get better and you guys will have more fun.
I told you Oran Park's the best.
Is there a way we can get some replays of some overtakes that were like sort of questionable? Because there was a few moves I pulled going over the bridge where I thought I was enough up there, and the guys just sort of turned in on me. It's like a very, very tricky situation there. It'd be good to just get some clarity on.
Look, the best, obviously I can sit here all day tomorrow and find replays for you guys, but really what we need you can do, iRacing's awesome. It has a replay option. You can make it so it saves a replay directly to your hard drive, and then when you finish, you can say, yes, save it, and you can go back and look at those moves. I spent all morning this morning looking at people's, grievances with certain passes that from the other night. So, but, I don't want to be on here all the time doing that. It's sort of a bit of self-regulation. Also have a look. You've got the tools to be able to look, you know what I mean? And if you need to learn how to use that, we can show you how to use that.
The other thing you need to think about with that is, unless you're in VR or triple screens, some of these things you won't be able to see. I can't see that far to the side of my car.
not looking 100%, but you've then got to drive accordingly, thinking that there could be someone there, because we don't know who's got single screens and all that sort of stuff. That's sort of not like I'm running big triples these days, and it's definitely a lot better than back when I originally ran single and little triples. So, and VR, is even better, I suppose. But that's sort of for something for you guys. If you've only got a single screen and there's someone near you, you're just going to have to go, well, I can't come across there because they could be there.
Yeah, without getting too technical, there's a few add-ons that can help with that situation. So obviously, Crew Chief does an okay job of telling you whether there's somebody beside you or not. But also, there's a few other add-ons that I've seen that will put sort of red dots on the side of the screen to let you know when there is somebody there that may be out of your line of sight.
Well, that'd be rad. If you like, obviously everyone here should have Crew Chief, and if you don't, we need to get you onto Crew Chief as soon as possible. And obviously, using the relative box is a great thing as well. Yeah, man, if you want to post up some links to any things like that will help guys with single screen to know that there is a car right next to them, please do, because that's how we all learn and have more tools at our disposal to have clean races.
Where would you post that sort of stuff?
It'll be up in here on Discord. So I know you've only just hopped on, so there's lots of the text channels. We've got the rules and regs, obviously, which is rules and regulations. That'll have the sub-regs for each race. So there was regulations for just this race, and the new ones have gone up for round 2, so you can read that. Then there's a thing called RAN's notices. So that's just for me to post up to remind you guys of things and let you know about stuff and updates to not necessarily full rules, but just saying, hey, make sure everyone's got their paint, make sure you only enter the right race, yada, yada. Then we've got season sessions and schedules. So that's obviously what practices are coming up and what races, a driver list for state and nationals. General chat is exactly that, general chat. I've got car setup files, then tech equipment, so any tech stuff. So that's where it could be posted. Any tech things that could help us, discussing monitors, computers, whatever. There's a suggestion box if you've got a suggestion, and then obviously sponsors and logos. So they're the text channels which should give you answers to 99% of the questions that you think.
No worries. What about stuff like changing your car paint, your and the what was it I was going to ask? Bloody hell! The setup of the car and fuel, etc. Where do you find?
Well, we've got we share car setups as much as we can. So people will post up car setups in the car setup files text channel. Also, when you're testing in Garage, your option with Garage, you can change your settings. And people will share setups and everything like that. So maybe we'll try and get one of the other ZB guys to maybe spend a little bit of time with you in a practice session and just show you how to do that stuff. And they might be able to give you some tips for that car.
No worries. I did notice someone put a setup file on the national Sport Sedan thing. I was got to try and figure out how to grab that.
You mean just up on the car setup files? Jacob put one up. Is that what you mean?
Oh, I saw a comment that said, "Here's a ZB setup file."
Yep. So okay, so that's not just national. So that's for everybody. Just so you know, car setup files is for national and state. So we don't sort of discriminate between the two. So yeah, what you do is you can save that and then put it in the appropriate folder. So we explained that just before, but I don't think you're online, but I can explain it to you later as well. So you can grab setups and put them in the right folder so that they're in for your car.
No problem. Thanks.
Anyone else got anything? If you really do feel that you need to send me a video of something just to look at, whether it's something you want to know, whether you've done the right thing or someone else, or it's something we can improve, show myself, and obviously I also show Miles, because Miles approaches things a little bit differently. So between the two of us, usually we can look at it. And obviously Andrew, who is here, who runs in improved production in real life and runs in the national series, is helping out as well. He's got a lot of experience. So between the three of us, usually we can come up with the correct answer.
One thing I will say is tonight is such a well-organised series, ran for you and Miles. Really credit to you. I mean, I race in that Circuit XL eSeries that races on Saturday nights in iRacing, and it's they race in Audi TCR cars, and it's just not organised at all. It's a total shit show, and it's a gigantic crash fest to the point where, like, I just literally want to pull out of it. But this is such an organised thing, so it's awesome.
Cheers. We're trying. Look, obviously, as you know, organising anything like this is a challenge, and it's hard to keep everything on track. But we're trying our best, and we've got a good crew. Like especially, obviously, it's initially from the Sport Sedans. There's that group, and so a lot of people know each other, and then the extended sort of guys coming in, related or on the team and everything. So I suppose that's hopefully why it's going well. So everyone works together, which is great. All right, guys, if that's it. But yeah, you can message me or whatever. I'm going to hop off and chill. I might, or maybe I'll go do some more testing. I'm not sure. But yeah, you obviously all can withdraw from this event now. And if you wanted to hop in and start testing at Belle Isle, you can.
I won't Facebook message in next week, Ren. That was a piss take.
What did you do? I didn't even see it yet. What did you message me?
We have to refuel.
Were you taking the piss? Please tell me you were, because I was like, what the fuck?
I did actually read the regs.
So obviously everyone read the regs. They're up. Miles has been busting his balls to make sure they're up the day after the Nationals race, so that they're up for the following week. So read them. State and national regs are exactly the same. So whatever the national ones put up for the race, the state will do exactly the same thing. So yeah, just so you know.
Thank you.
Thanks for putting that together, Oran. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ranald. Have a good night, mate.
Cheers, guys. Fantastic job, Ray. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Rand. I'm sure Chris and Colin Smith and I will be having a good debrief at work tomorrow.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thanks for Miles and I appreciate the effort you guys are going to be part of this as well. So we note that.
Thank you.
It's just good communication here. Like everything's just up front and there's no bullshit. I've been in places before where there's just no information given. Everything's just up in the air. So I appreciate the amount of work that's been.
Now, look, and I suppose, so just so you guys who are still here understand, if anything goes not well, I answer to John Goulet and Michael Robinson, who run the National Sport Sedan series. So I've got to make sure it looks good, otherwise they'll get angry at me. And we try and run it like they run the series, as in, try and approach it like a real series as much as possible. In saying that, making sure that it's fun. Obviously, real sports sedans, while it's fun, it gets quite competitive. But we want to try and keep the fun factor here because you guys could be just chilling on the couch, drinking beer, and hanging with your family or whatever. So we want it.